Hello and welcome everybody back to Portage La Prairie for the 8th draw on day 2 as we get ready for some more action here at the Canad Men's Classic. Ken Plating along with Trent Ward, the former co-chair of the mixed doubles trials. Are you co-chair again this year?
Nope.
Nope, they pulled you off after 1 year.
It only comes around every 4 years. So
Trent and I will be calling the play-by-play in color. I'll let you heal from that grievous wound I just gave you there. We have the Seaside qualifier action here as we are in the quarterfinals of this matchup. It is Willie Lyburn playing against Reed Crothers foursome, and this is a new foursome for Reed Crothers as they are mixing things up. Of course, Mike McEwen on that squad as well this year. So a little bit different of a lineup for Reed and his team.
Yeah, they've added Mike this year and trying to be competitive. Between the two of them, they're, when Reed is a two-time defending champion here at Canad in our men's spiel, and Mike is actually a four-time champion. He won back-to-back, both in 2010, 2011, and in 13 and 14. So a lot of championship history with this event on that side.
Well, the winner of this game tonight plays again tomorrow at noon, and then if they win that one, they are playing again at 4 o'clock. So a busy Sunday. For these guys, and if they win tonight, well, they're going to be hitting straight to bed, I assume, not having some fun here in Portage, because a lot on the line here.
Well, that's the difficulty of being on the Seaside, is that you have to win to stay in, and when you get onto the Seaside at this time, you got to continue games. So they got the 2 games tomorrow if they win tonight, but then they have a third one when they do qualify, and sometimes that qualifier is the tough one. Third game of the day.
Matt Wozniak, he is the 5th actually for the Crothers team, but he is stepping in right now, replacing Colin Hodgson for this tournament.
Colin needs a rest, they were told earlier. He's here in the building, but...
As we've mentioned, the rocks here at the Portage Curling Club, the ice, lots of swing near the end of the finish of a draw, so Skip's taking a lot of ice. If you're watching us for the first time, wondering why they're playing so much ice, you'll see how well these rocks finish when they start getting into the house.
Almost 5.5 feet of curl right now.
It's unbelievable, and like I said, I've talked to the curlers throughout the course of the weekend, and they say they love it. They love playing like this. It's like arena ice. It's fun, and it makes it more competitive. Of course, you have to really think about this. You're not just playing nothing but straight hits all day long.
Yeah, and the ice is good shots are rewarded on ice like this. So if right ice, right speed, takes so much into that and so much concentration on the players and good shots are rewarded. So in the first end, Carruthers has last rock. They won the draw, the Skip's draws beforehand. He drew to the pin.
Nice shot with a nice little roll there behind cover. Lyburn looking to put one in front of those yellows.
Willie looking to run back. The center guard.
Kyle Doring, who gave me a little color help earlier this weekend and is in the hack right now. Having to run off a guard here in front.
We tried to get him up here a few more times, but he's been playing.
As much as I know he enjoyed it, I think he'd rather be on the ice for the rest of the weekend.
Yes.
1, 2.
Great double run back.
Fantastic play, and we have a blue stone now sitting in the 8-foot.
Fully covered by a front guard, center line guard.
Well played shot by young Doring. Derek Somogalski with his first stone. Hits that one a little off the nose and a little roll over, creating a corner guard. That leaves Lyburn the option right now to just place a guard right back in front and try to cover up that rock that is the only one in play.
His other option would have been to go around the guard, but it's not his guard, so he's probably trying to stay away from it.
Plus, of course, he does not have the hammer, so keeping stuff in the center is where his aim is going to be for the rest of this end. Doering going from a peel, tap back to a
Centerline guard.
Centerline guard here. A little shift of gears. But also good to do that early on so he gets a good, grasp of the weight here. This rock is starting to move now. Kisses the center line. And center line guard now for the Liburn team.
Has the guard the guard has got the rock half covered.
Samagalski.
He's just playing a little light tap back.
Mike McEwen all over this rock. Pushing it back by the guard. Little bit of a roll, and they push it back to the back 8 foot. It is still shot stone.
Great shot. Also pushed it into the open.
So Liburn just looking to tap back that yellow rock.
Same shot on falling him down. Trying to get the same result.
Daley Peters here with his first stone of the first end.
Such a great shot and so much swing. It actually over-curled and got to the inside of the rock and pushed it out the one side, and it's completely buried. And I think they've now changed their mind, decided to run it back.
Run it back. Try to hit the yellow directly behind it. Sit 2, have a guard. Everything a positive. I need this one to move. Decide to run that back and peel it off. Open up the 4 foot.
Open up the front of the house.
Bit of an opportunity here for Reed Carruthers, and you may notice Reed is throwing the third stones tonight. Mike McEwen will be throwing the skip stones. Reed calling the shots tonight.
So far, they've had some good success. They last weekend they won the Stu Sells tournament in Toronto.
Here tonight, trying to stay alive in the Seaside quarterfinal. A little roll off to the side. Sitting 2 now. Gives Liburn the opportunity to either freeze that.
He missed that, he's going around the corner. Oh, we can make the double and the roll. Could make the double and roll. That's really tough. Just with normal. Like you have to hit it right there. Just normal. No control if you like. Oh, yeah.
Daley Peters giving his skip Will Liburn something to think about.
Yeah, Will wanted to hit the back one and roll under cover, and Daley wanted to hit the front, run the front one back for a double and roll behind the cover.
I think the thought process here is maybe try to eliminate a few yellow stones.
You gotta go real hard.
This one seems to be moving on them a little too much.
Right up, right up, right up, right up, right up.
Definitely did not get the right angle on that stone. The blue manages to stay out of play in terms of counting, but it's still in the action.
Yeah, I think they were caught in between shots there, between the two of them. Really was really worried about what kind of roll in order to make the double, on how much it would roll to the side, not under cover, and leaves an open draw in behind the corner guard.
Reed Carruthers, his second shot of this end. Good opportunity here to set themselves up for a deuce. You don't want to give them an opportunity to get a double. So they're trying to push this one back even with the other one in the back, and pretty close. Would be a chance for a double, I guess, but they are thinking about it.
They're looking, or at least a roll in front of it would be the secondary shot there. Bring them back closer together.
Gotta be like here, doesn't it?
Of course, Reed and Mike joining forces together after playing each other so many times in the provincial final. Decided to come together.
And good friends, you know, and great competitors. And with a new qualifying year for Olympics coming up, why not try something different?
Yes, definitely. And a tremendous amount of changes in all the teams throughout the country. And we'll see a whole bunch of them next week when we come to the women.
Yeah, I don't have all of it, Daly. I don't have all of it. This is Noah's the other one. No. I think we know the other one, don't we? Then we might have a double.
Some discussion here.
Yeah, Willie's thinking about his next shot. If he hits one solid and doesn't move,
open,
and then leaves it open, and then the next one hits, and then hit on his next one, he can hit and roll for the double.
He's going to throw it just normal. Perhaps hoping to hit and roll behind a little bit, rather than hit and roll over for a double. We do know that it will move a little bit. Want to take out? With his first rock in the first end, Will Lyburn looking to remove a yellow stone in the back of the 8-foot.
For it to curl a little more.
1, 2, almost got it. It was close. I think if he would have played with a little bit more weight, he would have actually hit less.
Yeah, I think it was a weight-sensitive shot in order to get the roll over. Anything harder may have not curled up enough to get a piece of the rock. Certainly brought the two rocks closer together, and now Reed has, well, I guess now Mike has a touchy little shot to hit and roll away. Making Will's attempt at a double neck shot tougher.
Mike McEwen throwing skip stones for the Carruthers team. Looking to remove the blue stone at the back of the house. This one's hanging a bit. Hanging a bit too much.
Hanging a bit. Going to get on an inside roll and roll maybe in front of the other one now.
Not exactly what they wanted.
pretty much set up an easy double.
Or like firm. 7. Just click it first, eh?
Depending on which way Will wants to take this on.
Last rock for Lyburn here in the first end. Trying the double. Removing both stones.
Needs to get about a quarter of the top one.
Gets them both and spins over. And it just gets a small bite.
And the one left here on the earlier one makes this takeout even more difficult. Because actually you can only see maybe a quarter of the stone.
Just a sliver. And if you are inside at all, this could backfire greatly.
You know, the danger there is hitting the front one and missing everything completely and rolling out and giving a steal of one to the Team Lyburn.
Mike's confident. Last rock here of the first end, Mike McEwen for the Carruthers team. Having to pick out a biter on the back 12 to blank. Just got it. A beauty.
Caught the quarter. Now they're going to take a look to see if this one is in or not, I do believe. But
doesn't look like it. Looks like we will blank the first end here in Portage. 1 down, 7 to go. We are watching the Canadians Men's Classic here from the Portage Curling Club. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Eat.
Meet.
Stay.
Canad Inn's destination centers are your home for hospitality, with 10 locations in Manitoba and 1 in North Dakota, featuring the finest in accommodations, food and beverage, entertainment, banquet and conference facilities, and so much more. For the best service and best value, your only stop is Canad Inns. Call today at 1-888-33-CANAD or visit us right now at canadinns.com.
And we are back here in Portage for end number 2. Carruthers team now with the hammer as we blank the first end.
Willie calling for the center line guard to start the end off.
That one did over curl quite a bit.
Yes, slightly over curled. Reed putting up a corner guard now.
Enjoy the homemade cookies.
Both teams might be a little bit nervous playing in the seaside.
And this one just slides in, biting the 12. Gives Lyburn the option to hit and roll. Brendan Belaka with his second shot. Hits and rolls a little bit off to the side there.
I like more ice.
Matt Wozniak now with his second shot. And they achieve the corner guard they were looking for last rock. It's Liburn's turn now. He wants to bring one into the 4-foot.
25-ish? Like that, Ken? Good hook. Sure.
Kyle Doring trying to sneak one behind his guard. Looking for T-line. Puts it just above. Nice shot behind cover.
Good draw weight. 14-4 is the time from hog to hog.
Crowther's looking to get rid of that blue.
Run back the guard.
On the nose, straight back and a jam. And Liburn now with some options. Does he cover up his shot stone? Or draw another one in? Looking to draw another one in, just tap back his shot stone a little bit and sneak around and hide behind the yellow rock.
Looks like it's about half open from the front guard.
Yeah. Be good here, I think. I had 30. Probably 30.
Just a little tap off that blue, rolling the shooter behind the yellow. Little kiss, little roll.
Reed calling for the run back of their own guard onto the...
No damage there, and possibility of taking out 2 blue stones. Removing the cover, if at worst they peel it off, that Liburn is enjoying. This one's floating out there. Oh, but he still manages to get it. Does he pull out the blue? Just barely.
Good double run back.
Good double run back that is. Liburn now has to think a little bit about what he's going to do here. Draw one in behind the yellow.
So shade quick, eh?
I got your message and I have no service.
Shade quick.
Daly Peters.
Okay, line's real good. Okay, okay. No, just clean. No, for back four. Danny only. Danny's rocks. Go right here. Back button, back button.
A great shot by Daly Peters.
Fully buried. Front of the tee line in the 4 foot.
Oh no, he'll put up 37, I guess. That one I guess. Yeah, he's pretty good.
Reed looking to play the run back. Running his own stone back. Hook for a straight one, and then he'll be lying one. Oh. Got a piece of it. And also took out the one in the back.
You betcha.
Really asking Daly to play the same shot, draw into the top of the 4 foot.
Easy, Kyle, easy. Yep, come on. Hard, keep it going. Keep it moving. Okay.
This one a little light.
Hard, Kyle. Hard. Go.
You gotta push it in.
Go.
They're pushing it in.
Keep it going.
They bite the 12, get it in fully. Didn't curl as much as they needed it to, though.
Oh, left it about 3/4 open.
There was 3 things that then I went to college and I picked up things. So I went over to all because we want to pick like white, green, white. So I went over to all they just painted the bed upstairs and they were white.
Reed looked to be playing a controlled takeout. Hit and roll in behind their corner guard. Waiting for the rock to move.
Now it's starting to come, but just a little nick. Just enough, though.
Yep, enough to remove both of the stones.
Yeah, top button.
Allows Liburn now a chance to draw in himself and maybe get fully buried.
Never even turned out, so I don't know. Well, I know he beat that man. But this
Line's good.
Shim, that's shim.
Line's good. Line's real good.
Sweeper's not touching this one at all. Lots of room.
Lots of room starting to make its break now as it starts to slow down.
Needs it to move quite a bit more. Maybe just a hair below the tee line.
Completely buried though. Just about a foot too far. He
Wanted just to be a little bit higher than that.
This gives the opportunity for Mike to come down and draw to it and lie shot and have a backing.
Fee for 9 o'clock was for $185, and your ticket number ends in 8307.
Yeah. You can get a higher split there.
8307.
And that's what she said. She said she looks at it and it's not because
Slides it on off.
so
Mike McEwen now looking to follow suit, follow the same path. Just draw down to it.
Even a corner freeze.
Anything to give him the option to either tap it out, draw down to the buttons for his last rock. This one is extremely wide. Needs to come in. Weight was perfect, just seemed to hang out there a little bit.
Left it in the open.
I hit it sit there and line two. Yes, you can. I mean, I hate to give up two here, but whatever you
Lyburn with a great opportunity here. He can manage to just chip out that yellow from the button. He's even suggesting just drop it back a little bit, give himself some backing.
Yeah, so that's why you need to draw top. He doesn't have that right. Well, if you're there, he does, right? I mean, you kill it and you roll out. Well, whatever you like.
Just going through the different options and make sure that they don't give them an easy shot for a run back double, then blank another end, or their options are there if they can roll away from it or roll on top of it.
So they are removing the rock. Going to play this pretty light with hack weight. I wonder with that line if he's going to over curl a little too much with hack weight.
I think he's trying to tap it back and roll on top of
his own
top
blue.
of his own blue.
Well, we have watched two rocks in a row kind of not finish the way they wanted them to, so interesting thing to see here. Will he be able to do this? Line looks good. Rock's moving now.
Option being rolling a little bit away.
Still in pretty good shape. Gives McEwen a chance to remove them both. It's not an easy double.
I just a straight hit and take your one. Reed's lining up the double.
We were walking home one night, and that creek there, behind us, our place, there was two stars there.
Mike McEwen with his final rock of the second end. One, two, and the shooter as well. We blank another one here in Portage la Prairie for the 2018 Canadians Men's Classic. We'll be back with more curling action after we show you some of our proud sponsors of some of this year's event. And welcome back to the Portage Curling Club as we get ready for third end action. Got a special shout out to a friend of mine that is watching this all the way in South Korea right now. Going out to Scott McMullen. His brother, of course, runs the Rocks to Rings program that you see, and Scott curls for Team Brazil. So, good curling friend of mine, and watching tonight's action early in the morning in South Korea, he said.
That would be early in the morning. Would be hard to keep ice in Brazil, too.
It would definitely be hard to keep ice in Brazil.
It's hard to keep ice and drinks in Brazil, let alone in a curling rink. So a little change up in this end, and from what we've seen in the first two when throwing the center line guard, this one is actually in the house.
Removing that rock in the 8-foot and a bit of a roll over. And we may see one of these ends where we're just replacing rock after rock after rock.
Yes, until one makes a mistake or gets a rollout or anything like that.
You gotta go, pal. Gotta go for Pete. Really gotta go.
This one's really moving on him.
It's enough of it, and the roll. That one comes right out. Opportunity now to perhaps get a guard up still. So no score here after two ends of play. Carruthers still with the hammer.
Throwing the corner guard up.
Liver looking to put up a guard of his own.
This will be Will's.
Just in front of the 12-foot.
Yeah, we're having vacation.
Kyle Doring with his first shot. Looking for just in front of the house.
Nice and tight, guys. It's gonna be tight.
Just giving themselves an option perhaps for a tap back later on in the game.
All you got.
And this one's digging in right here at the Canadiens logo.
A little bit short of what he wanted. They usually like that one about, a foot outside of the ring there, give him some options. Reed looking to bring it in the house now. Going around the Librand center guard. Of course, this game is on the C side. We have other games out there on the B side, qualifying games. Reed's on the C side started off with a win against Cordy Hartung. Then he lost to Braden Calvert, a loss to Zoo, and then he won against Tanner Horgan earlier today.
Beautiful weight. Top of the forefoot. And completely buried.
Pretty safe assumption. Okay, lay it on.
The Liburn team, they started off with a loss against Kirk Murray's. They won against Jeff Hartung, and then they lost to Glenn Howard, and then they won against Rich Ruhensen.
That's the number, bud.
Still a long way to go if they want to win. Possibility of 2 more draws tomorrow.
To get to the qualifying, or 2 qualifying, get to that qualifying game tomorrow night.
Fine.
And this one starts to bite now. And taps that Yellowstone just out a little bit. Derek Samogalski with his second shot. A little small roll with the possibility now of a double for the Liburn squad. Daly Peters in the hack.
What do you like to throw? Normal? Throw normal. Okay. Oh no. Wait. Yep. Hard. Hard. Real hard, Kyle. Hey.
Need this for line. Just a nick of the guard.
Opens up the front of the house a little bit. It gives the option for Team Carruthers to put another guard up.
You don't want to give him this either. Cut it. Get a put it like right here. See something else? I give him everything. I think you gotta put it here.
No blood yet. No blood yet. Thickest of boys. You can full noise pretty quick.
So they look like they're going to be guarding this up. Just in front of the house is where they're looking to put this. Wanted a bite so that if they ended up with a double, they'd still have one in the house.
One in the house, yep. I think the guard was going over curl, and Mike was trying to go with option B in there and bring it in.
Opportunity now for Lyburn to remove both of those. Daly Peters looking for a little redemption after missing the last one.
A good double here and a little roll would be completely buried.
Hard! 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 Whoa! Clean! Clean!
1, 2, a roll.
Little roll, completely buried behind.
And the other yellow rock barely gets out. So great shot for Daly Peters. A little happier after that one.
Yes. That'll help his average out. Reed here is looking at a run back.
With that yellow up front, though, that kind of looks like a blessing now. Has an option to run back his own stone and try to sit one on the forefoot. It's close. And a bit of a roll.
That one falls in behind the corner guard. Completely buried.
I think we go, if we can try and keep just a hair higher, maybe. Sure. Or you get it here, that'd be great. Yeah, definitely. He comes on top. He comes on top. Boy, let's get this ice right. I mean, that's drawing the button. Yeah. So, I mean, that's going to be close, right?
For here, you're thinking?
Well, that's the button.
Yeah. So that should get to there, you think?
So, a little bit less.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. That gets by the guard, right?
Yeah, you got to get by that.
So as Will saying there, you got to get the ice right. Just it is swinging, so
It is swinging. The guards are offsetting, so he should be able to fit through that port there.
and just wants to slide right into the side of the forefoot there, holding shot stone.
And that would be buried by his own stone, so that's a little more difficult to run back. You always like to run back your own stones, but if you have to, use your opponent's stones.
His first rock of this third end.
Line's good.
Will Lyburn.
Taking a weird turn. Straight. Gotta go.
Sweepers trying to carry this one. It is light. They are pulling it, though. They are pulling it. Oh, a little rub. It's still going, though. It comes up in the 12-foot. So they're thinking they may have picked on something.
Guys, what do you think there for speed?
The weight should have been pretty close because he got to the 12-foot with a little bit of rub. So
Sweepers did have to carry that rock, though,
Sweepers
along
did carry
where
it, so it might have been a little lighter, and that would have, caused it to curl a little more than maybe anticipated. Sweepers were on it almost right away, all the way down the ice. They held it as good as they could. Of course, $56,000 on the line here for the Canadians Classic. Tomorrow night we'll be down to 8 teams.
big decisions here on what to do.
Of course, the stone that Willie just threw is in a good spot for him because he can tap that one back and it would be completely buried with two of his own offsetting guards, if that's what he wishes to play. And I think that's a little bit too dangerous for Reed. Reed wants that one to be removed, so Mike will play a soft tap back weight, remove the stone. Lie two.
Mike McEwen with his first of 2 skip stones for Team Carruthers. Jess gets by the guard. Nice little tap and roll. And Carruthers lying 2 now.
He's going to get fairly open if he'd want to take on that takeout, but the takeout would really wouldn't do much.
Thinking about just drawing now to the 4-foot. Trying to cut down the threat of a 3-point end.
What were you thinking, Kyle? Pub mess with John over here too, eh?
Yeah, we always cheer for him. What are you thinking? Yeah, you look familiar. Yeah. Like you said, he's doing well. I'm roll out. He's had a heck of a time for a while.
I think we make this right here.
Put it on him.
Willie going to go around the offsetting stones? The Carruthers stones?
I think he believes that the better option would have been to go through the center and try to squeeze through. He did say there's enough room. He believes that there's enough swing on the ice that he could get around his own blue. But it is dangerous to do that. So take no chance. Go around the open side. Make sure you can get there.
Yeah,
He's
kind of
thinking about it too, yeah.
weighing through all his options, and really what it gets down to, if you could eliminate one now and you could play a takeout and eliminate one and give him his 2 and move on, or with this draw, you miss this draw, chances are you're going to give up 3 if you don't make this draw perfectly. Make the draw perfectly, you could walk away with a steal of 1. So you're weighing those options out.
If you wanted to get 2, no, I like that. Okay, back 4 foot on the center line. You should be able to get the center line.
Of course, there are no time clocks at our Bonspiel here, so the skips can go back and forth and discuss as long as they want.
Will Lyburn with his last rock here in the 3rd end. Looking to come around a guard and find himself in the back of the 4-foot.
Brushers haven't touched it all the way down.
Not a good sign for the Lyburn squad. This rock is sliding and sliding and sliding. And Carruthers has no problems removing it from the rings. It is going to be a draw for 3.
Sorry. I thought I had that all day. Wow. Great.
You're very interested in that guard right up front. So they're going to try to split that front yellow and go for the gusto here and try to get 4.
Well, the shot is there.
It's definitely there, but and why not try it?
Why not try it? They've already got their 2. That was what they're thinking. It's, we're playing the 3rd.
You're bound to put 1 into the rings.
Yeah.
So 3, and if you get lucky, get the proper spin, hey, maybe 4.
And that would put, in an 8 again, being down 4.
Last rock here in end number 3. Mike McEwen trying to get a good chunk of this yellow rock. He hits it well and splits it. Possibly get 4. No, but he does get his 3.
Over-curled on him.
Just
Had
a
the
little
right
too
weight.
much. Why not worth the try? Hey, 3 points for the Carruthers foursome. We are done 3 here in Portage La Prairie. You're watching the 2018 Canada Inns Men's Classic here. We'll be back right after a few messages.
Eat.
Meet.
Stay.
Canad Inn's destination centers are your home for hospitality, with 10 locations in Manitoba and 1 in North Dakota, featuring the finest in accommodations, food and beverage, entertainment, banquet and conference facilities, and so much more. For the best service and best value, your only stop is Canad Inns. Call today at 1-888-33-CANAD or visit us right now at canadinns.com.
Well, 3 down, 5 to go. We're here in Portage. And Trent, we have some games going on most of the sheets here. And if you want to do a quick rundown of what you see so far, and we can update our fans at home with the exciting action here in Portage La Prairie.
Actually, for the first time here, all 8 sheets in this curling club are going on tonight. So, Jason Gunlickson is up 1-0 on John Schuster. Calvert is up 2-0 on Sturmey. Matt Dunstone has got a 4-0 lead in the 3rd on Daniel Winzik. Kurt Myers is up 3-1 in the 4th, playing against Portage Mutual, Kelly Marnick. Zhang and Hartung, Cody Hartung, are tied at 0-0. No score in that game yet in the 3rd. Charlie Thomas is up 2-1 on Zoe. Tanner Lott and Glenn Howard are tied at 2 in the 4th. And of course, there's our game here.
Actually, Howard had just scored 2 more in the 4th end, so he's up now, right now, 4-2.
Have to give the online scorekeepers a hard time on that. They're not keeping up. They can hear us because they're in the corner down there. So,
well, if you missed it last end, an interesting finish to that one as Reed Carruthers had the opportunity with his squad to possibly get 4 with a kind of a chip at the front of the house with one of their own stones. They were already sitting 2, trying for 4. No harm, no foul. They ended up still getting 3 and taking a lead here as we finish up 3.
the start of this end, the Carruthers put their center line guard up.
And Lyburn right now is putting up a corner guard, but it's slid a little far, so it's just in the 12-foot.
A mistake there sliding into the ring, so Reed will play a hit and roll, trying to roll behind his center line guard.
Gets the hit, gets the roll, about half that rock covered right now, so still pretty good.
Good control of the weight, good control roll. Carruthers team will still be feeling each other out. Matt Wozniak playing with them this weekend. Matt and Mike are were teammates for years.
Lyburn getting his corner guard up.
I dwindled down every week. Hey, Gordy, I was telling Susie, you know, I cannot get used to Friday. They go get I think it's Friday, it's Saturday. So Susie said, what happened to the young and the restless? And guess what? No, yesterday. And I said to Susie, today's Saturday.
Trying to bring this one into the house. Could be a little heavy. I may have spoken in here too soon. Biting a piece of the button.
Left about a quarter open from the center line guard. Willie chooses to ignore the two Crothers stones in the ring and throw one in behind his corner guard.
That's you.
And this rock is a beauty, exactly where they wanted it to end up.
Almost went out the other side, so maybe over curled a little bit. Reed's taking a look to see what's the better option to.
Spill the guard, roll over. Create your own guard out of that. Yeah.
Well, it's third shot, so they decided to take the corner guard out.
Take the guard out, and he's looking for a roll over to the center line, so kind of protect what he's got there.
Hoping to overlap the guards to stop any run back.
Little tap there.
Leaves a little port there.
For Lyburn to hit and roll over.
Back! A little more to make the roll. More to make the roll.
Just a late tap back. Is being called.
Important thing here is try to get that roll over. No corner guard on the other side. Gives him at least the opportunity to have two in the house.
Good. Hard, Scotty, hard. You gotta go. Move it. Hard. Go. Hard. Go. Keep going.
Got to buy the guard.
Good.
A little bit of roll, but completely open. Small port to come through, but still completely open.
Lyburn, I think, wanted to have a little bit more of a roll on that one.
Mike holding the broom now. Calling for the takeout of the one on the outside. And a roll into the forefoot behind cover. Got to go to even get a piece of this one.
And the shooter and the stone both removed.
It's a nose double. What's that? You can't nose double.
Peter's asking about the nose double. But Lyburn just wanting to throw one into the forefoot.
I think what Will is thinking there is that a nose double will just leave them a nose double back.
Exactly.
Where this rock we get this in here, and the nose double might be a last one for a score of 2 or 3.
What'd you say?
Yep. Yep.
You're as fat as me.
Hey, we don't make clean. Yep. Yep. Okay, whoa.
That's why we were late.
Looking like it's coming in there nice.
Very nice shot. Still looks like yellow may have shot rock. It is definitely close.
I don't hate. You can't double jab. Wow. No, you can't.
The outside is completely buried. And on the inside, you have that top one in there. That's so very tricky to get into through that port. Reed playing a double run back into the pocket of rocks.
I'd rather play this.
Reed Carruthers. With his final stone.
A little bit of speed with this one.
One, two. And definitely not the outcome they were hoping for. Oh,
That was
boy.
the danger of that shot.
Oh boy is right.
No, I didn't hit.
Liburn now with the opportunity to turn this end around.
How about the same time? Well, the problem is, does he have a double? Well, he does, but you go under and it's 3 bucks. You go here, he makes double, you roll under, it's 3 bucks. Go here, he makes his double, you roll under? Yeah, all 3. Yeah. You're not worried about this one? Not. So you want the same turn or you want a different turn? Same turn. Same turn?
Really looking how we can score 3 here now with counting 2 now.
Daley Peters with his final stone of the 4th end.
Yep.
Sweepers are on it right out of his hand.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Need to get this one there. Need some help.
We got to bring it a long way.
Go, 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 go. Yeah, good sweep.
Almost get this one in. Just a
Looking at
hair away.
Looking to play the double.
Mike McEwen with his first skip stone.
Hitting the one on the center line first and rolling over and hitting the one on the edge of the
outside,
forefoot.
Keep an eye on this one. It is not moving. And right through the port.
He didn't like it out of his hand where he said whoa as soon as he let it go.
That's the shot. Just roll it over here. Yeah, sure. Just watch that we don't give him a double off of this one. So at least make
Don't see shots like that too often.
No, you know, he probably had about a quarter of the stone.
Not much to aim at,
No,
but needed the weight in order to remove both stones, so
Yeah, and he could make something squirrely.
so close.
I like that too, bud. That looks good. You got the walls over here.
and I'm sure at 160 feet away it looked even smaller.
So tempting. You get it, you look like a hero. Now a golden opportunity for Will Lyburn to hit, stick, and sit for 3. Hit, stick, and
For a biter?
sitting 3.
I know the out.
Is that front one in, guys? No. It's the front blue stone in.
No, I looked up in the table.
Oh, it's you.
No, it just white.
Oh.
So Mike McEwen looking to draw one into the forefoot. Try to cut down on a possibility of a 2, 3, or 4-point end.
They're going to try and corner freeze on the top one, on the top of the button there, and corner freeze. So if they cut him down to the 1 and make Will either draw to the pin for his 2, or if Will takes on the takeout, possibly a jam. And
Mike McEwen with his final stone of end number 4.
Easy, guys.
Yeah.
No line. No line.
One hanging a bit out there. Starting to come in now. Needs to weld these 2 stones together, and he does just that. Not too many options here for Lyburn to
beautiful shot.
get more than 2, so just draw to the button. Plenty of room on that one side. You can see
Yeah, but Will. But Willie. Middle of 12, my rock got here. Middle of 12 across the line. Yeah, like here you're crossing the line. Here you got to.
That's that one. But it's light. Like, we got to be a full.
Okay, well, let's take a little bit more, but I don't think I'm going to get the same finish you're going to get.
Probably not, but let's take enough.
Yeah, I think that's enough.
So a little extra line on this one after Peter's reminding him on his rock that he had half the 12-foot. And his curled quite a bit over from the center line. So, of course, he's trying to bite a piece of the button. So they decided on a little bit more room and broom on this one.
Yeah.
A little bit more. It's got about 5.5 feet of ice.
I thought so.
I think if he gets full 4, he'd get us 2 points.
Line's a little tight. Looks heavy.
Now remember, Liburn had a problem with a draw just a few ends ago.
You need something? Do you need something?
Hoping this one grinds down.
Might get a
little
chip,
wick off his
little
own.
Wick off his own. Beautiful
and
shot.
That's exactly what he needed. 2 for Liburn. We have a 3-2 game after 4 ends of play. You're watching the 2018 Canad Inns Men's Classic here in Portage la Prairie. We'll be back after we show you a few of our proud sponsors from this year's event. And we are back here in Portage for the 5th end of this matchup between Will Liburn and Reed Carruthers. Must win, do or die at this point. Both teams looking to continue on for a chance to win. This is the Seaside quarterfinals. Winner goes on to play tomorrow at noon. And the road isn't easy after that.
3 wins to qualify.
3 more to go, so it's a long day on Sunday. Back-to-back-to-back games, so Carruthers now with the hammer, leading 3-2. And it's a bit of a rout on the 8th sheet as Howard is leading that one by a score, if I'm correct here, is it say 5-2?
6-2.
6-2. Pardon me, 6-2. It says 10-2, but somebody put the number 1 on the 10, so I don't know if that was a mistake or had our hopes up that it was going to be a blowout.
I do believe that was supposed to be where the blank is, but it's covered by a sponsor sign.
So it is a blanked N over there, but it looked pretty impressive at first. But no, he is leading that game by a score of 6-2 after 5 ends of play. We are just starting our 5th end here of curling action. Trent Ward and Ken Plating bringing you the play-by-play and color commentary here from Portage la Prairie. Thank you for joining us, and don't forget, more curling action tomorrow and then again on Monday, and then women are here later in the week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday for their Women's Classic, the Canad Inns Women's Classic, starting on Thursday in the morning.
A full field of 32 teams for that.
It's going to be an exciting week.
Very exciting field. You'll see the likes of Eve Muirhead here from Scotland. Carrie Enerson from Manitoba and her new team off to a hot start, winning 3 events already. Along with a number of other teams from around the province.
And they drag this stone behind the center guard. And Lyburn is looking to follow suit and just freeze up to it. Top of the 12.
Mine's so good, guys. We got room. It's not coming, not curling enough yet.
This rock staying out there pretty straight. It is starting to finish now, but maybe a little too late.
Great weight,
Weight was perfect, but
Slightly overlapping, kind of by probably an eighth of the rock.
so looking at taking out that blue stone at the top of the 12. McEwen suggesting some hack weight.
Need to get across the face of it to remove the stone without going off the yellow.
Matt Wozniak's stone here. Nice call on that play. Mike McEwen wanting to play that one, and getting his wish, and pretty nice result if you look at it.
I think he was proud of his sweeping too down there.
Well, it's been a while, I guess, since he's had to do that.
I don't think he's had this sweep that hard as a skip. They always say,
Is it those who can't do? He's smiling from ear to ear right now. Yeah, he's happy with that shot.
he's played in quite a few mixed events too, and there he had to learn how to sweep, so he's well versed in it.
It's like riding a bike. It just takes a little practice and a little time, and you're back at it, no problem.
And I'm sure he knows someone who could teach him how to sweep, being married to Dawn.
Kyle Doring now with the didn't see if they're looking for a run back here or just a peel. Straight back, run back. 1, 2. Not quite enough to get the second shot out, but still a nice shot nonetheless.
This is one of those moments where we feel or split the hose.
So they are splitting the house here.
I like that.
Split the house, trying to have the rocks lined up evenly, so there's no chance of a double.
So Migalski with his first stone. Trying to drag this one up to the tee line. Good sweeping on this one. And great job right on the tee line. Lyburn looking to remove that stone and replace it with their own.
A little bit of a roll to the inside, I think, trying to get the rocks a little bit closer together. Sweeper on it right out of.
This
right
one
out of
looks
the
a
hand.
little inside. Got about half a rock right now.
Enough to stick around. Good
Enough to
shot.
stick around, and
Peeks out the other side a little bit. Exposes it on the other side of the guard.
Yeah, I think I was like, yeah.
little hit, little roll. Samogalski here. That's his second shot. Just control weight. Hit, roll over. Once again, try to split the rings.
The takeout rolls out onto the other side of the guard now. Line 2, back of the house. Chance of a double now for the Liburn team.
Double is there, so Daly Peters with some weight. One a little too thick and rolls just a piece.
Bites the forefoot. Behind the tee line. Mike asking Reed now to the takeout and hit and roll to the outside. Giving more separation between the rocks and making that double harder or impossible.
Reed Carruthers throwing third stones. They're on this one trying to keep it to the outside. Try to get a bit of a roll. Little roll on that one, not too much. Double is still there.
That was huge. I'll just throw it back. I don't want to go right, Will.
We've one game complete so far on this draw. Kurt Myers has defeated the Portage Mutual team of Kelly Marnock. Kurt lives to play another game.
One and a bit of a roll, but comes across the front of the stone.
Now they're trying to decide on where to place the rock, so a double is not there.
Wow. I think this is the bad. It ended up here with the
Reed Carruthers with the draw to the opposite side of the ice. Looking for a 8-foot or a 12-foot. Just plenty of separation between this rock and the one that's the shooter right now. Pardon me, shot rock. And this one is just staying straight.
A little extra weight he put on it.
Is it enough to take it out? Just enough.
might as well make roll, right? I guess. No, is fine. Yeah.
Gives a chance for Wheeler to take out. Lie one.
Yeah, I had one or two that curled, but it froze, so I think that's fine. But for clean.
Make that a little bit harder for Team Carruthers to get their two now.
Will Liburn's first rock this end. Carruthers with the hammer.
Hard, right up! Really hard.
Looking for an inside roll.
Hit, a little roll. And it jams up against that yellow and bites on the back of the 12.
Very fortunate.
I did that really nice. Kind of went.
Mike McEwen now is just going to take no chances, remove that stone. So he needs to hit and stick.
Yeah. What did Eric say he was combining it yesterday? Corey? He said he did it last night till the time 10:30.
Open draw behind a long guard, long center guard. Playing the takeout. I think at this point, Reed's looking to blank the end now.
Just clean, hit on the nose.
Retain last rock.
And forces Liburn here to hit it himself and try to stick around. Will Liburn's last rock of this fifth end. Needs to hit and stick. Forces opponent to hit and roll out to blank the end. He's got this one right on the nose. Not moving, so Mike McEwen will be forced to hit and roll out on this final one.
Another final. Glenn Howard has defeated Lott. He lives for another game tomorrow, too. This is a very similar shot a couple ends ago that Mike made to hit and roll out to blank.
And nice peel of that one off, and we are done. 5 ends of play here in Portage. 2018 Canad Inns Men's Classic. Score of this one 3-2 for the Carruthers squad. We'll be back in just a few moments.
Eat.
meet.
Stay.
Canad Inn's destination centers are your home for hospitality, with 10 locations in Manitoba and 1 in North Dakota, featuring the finest in accommodations, food and beverage, entertainment, banquet and conference facilities, and so much more. For the best service and best value, your only stop is Canad Inns. Call today at 1-888-33-CANAD or visit us right now at canadinns.com.
Back to the action here. We get ready for the 6th end, only 3 more to go. And a very close game between these two teams. 3-2 is the score after 5.
It's been an entertaining game so far, back and forth. Lots of rocks in play.
And some great chances from both teams. And we have seen a few misses. Kind of makes things interesting when they're near the skip stones like that and kind of rattles things up. So Carruthers with the hammer again.
Really calling for the center line guard, close to the rings. This one's up splitting the center line about halfway in, right on the logo. Coming in just a little bit over curled and poked out the other side. Seeing that the rock is a little exposed, I think Wheels decided to play another center line guard a little higher.
Liburn looking for that guard, and it's over the hog line, no problem.
Didn't quite make it to the center line, so they're offsetting.
Yeah.
Reeves decided to go on the offense and come right in again. Of course, action continues here tomorrow. Seaside games. Noon, 4 o'clock, and the qualifying matches at 7 tomorrow evening.
And this one swings right over, and the Carruthers team sitting with 2 in the house. Liburn looking to come up to those yellow stones. Back 4 weight. Kyle Doring right now in the hack. Looks like the weight is there for this one. Nice shot. And Carruthers looking to do the same thing here. But he's coming at it from the other end.
bringing play right into the forfeit, shrinking the scoring area.
This rock just slowed right down.
Really asking for a tap back now of the one that they just threw. Move some rocks around in different positions, lining them up.
Well, freeze top. We're going to move this a little bit. Hey, we just can't. You got your second shot. Okay. We don't need to worry about the second shot. So just back forward. Now do what he wants. That man. Right to the nose. Oh, no. Sure. Fine.
So just to the nose of their blue stone in the front of the forefoot.
We didn't touch that at all.
Just tap it back a little bit, maybe tap back one of those yellow rocks.
Get a couple different angles maybe to sneak another one into the button, but
Just looking for some options, I guess, at this point in time. Yeah.
Yep. Of course, this is the joy of having the rocks in front of the tee line, that they can always be tapped back into the scoring position.
T-line. Girl. T-line. Both of you. Come on, straight.
T-line weight, so not much for tapping back in this one. A little bit.
Curling a little bit.
That's fine, actually.
It's got those locked on right on top. Both blue stones on top of the.
So he does have some options there.
That's fine. That's great if it does.
So they are looking at removing some guards.
Cleaning up a little bit. They probably don't like the look of the two Liburn stones sitting on top of their rocks for later that can be bumped in.
One straight back onto the blues. Even though yellow is still sitting shot. Liburn looking at some options right now, what he can do.
Top button. Yeah.
Button is now open, so
Now three offsetting guards too along the front.
and really not bad shape for Liburn with two stones that he can promote still at any given time.
Yes. And he has a catcher in the Carruthers stone at the back if
something were to happen. So Liburn looking to just draw one in there.
this one's hanging out a little bit.
Needs to move. Perhaps a little wick off their own blue.
Bad.
Might have been just a touch heavy, and the sweepers couldn't sweep it to get the curl into the rock and rub the front one. Looking at the run back of their own guard onto the blue onto the left, biting the 4.
Mike McEwen looking at the angles. So running back the yellow guard onto the blue stones in the forefoot. Once again, not the outcome they expected.
No, it didn't stay out for him and didn't get the angle that he wanted, and he hit the wrong blue one. I'm sure the discussion afterwards will be on the comment, the talk between them on that, where Reed wanted to play a different shot, and talking from one end to the other. Reed really wanted to play like a hack weight, come around on the out turn.
Try to tap back.
Try and tap back and lie in there. And
Mike felt a little differently. Felt that was the time to play that shot. Try to open things up a little bit.
And that just might be a learning curve with this team. They're still fairly new into their season. They've had some success to start off with, but, Mike's third last year was BJ Newfield, who was a tremendous hitter, so Mike may lean to more of a hitting game.
Hard, both go. Line's perfect. Line's perfect. Full forward. Full forward. Line's perfect.
Lyburn brings that one into the forefoot. Sitting 4. A lot of blue granite in the forefoot. Still plenty of stones to go in this one.
Yeah, and Team Crothers has a couple options. They have a couple in the front.
That's what they're looking at right now. And what's the angle they need to hit?
Now there is a hole that you could go right between all of them and leave all 4 there. These are one of these shots that you're either a hero or you're
the goat.
The goat.
Reed Carruthers with his last rock of this 6th end. They're close. And through the hole.
you know, listening to him, he thought his first attempt at that run back, he was a little tight.
Just fight the forefront, eh? That's as deep as you want to be. No, we got to stop this thing. That's the only one we have to see.
Now they're trying to figure out where.
2 inches off the line. Edge on
Well,
edge,
Liburn
okay?
is concerned about that stone that is on the right side of your screen, giving them the chance to hit and roll into the button. So they're going to put one right there on the top of the forefoot, block that off.
Middle of 12 is the button, right? Are you good with that? Yeah. Okay.
Great opportunity here for Team Liburn to really put pressure on.
Full 8, top 4.
So from full 8 to top 4, that's what he wants this one. Quite the opportunity for Liburn.
Line's good. Through. Line's real good. Top 4. Line's real good. Line's perfect.
Of course, you've seen this side be a little bit slower on the draws.
Go. Line's perfect. Girl. All right, no, don't go. Go. Go, Shani.
Trying to pull this one into the 8-foot. Hard to tell if they are sitting 5th shot. Looks like they are. Mike McEwen here looking for the angles here.
And they know the spot on the ice now. This will be their 3rd attempt at this run back.
And as you look at it, about a half a rock there. Yes, he is going to jam it back on those other blues, but lots of stuff is going to spill around. So
Yeah, and Mike
just-
is a tremendous hitter. Can throw it hard.
Just
as
trying
hard
to-
as hard as anyone in the game.
just trying to minimize damage here with
Yeah, and open up the side in case he has to draw, you know, to the pin for his one. But you know, you're probably looking at half a rock, and you're probably looking at, you know, a removal of, you know, for sure 2 that are at the top of the forefoot. You might get another roll and get the 3rd one out, and that opens up both sides for him to draw.
Mike McEwen with his first rock in this 6th end. Playing a takeout on the blue stone in the 12-foot. Trying to rattle some things around. 1, 2.
Oh, don't say that.
He did open this up, and they are still counting 3 for Team Liburn. And Will still with an opportunity here to trying to block him from scoring his 1.
Well, they accomplished what they wanted in that shot and opened up both sides, and they got the 2 blue ones off the top of the forefoot. Well, the 2 stones that are remaining are in behind the tee line. So now it's how you placing the rock and how to plug that to prevent.
And they're just looking at the biting the top of the button, trying to make McEwen to maybe hit and roll in or try to draw in himself.
Without using the two stones as backers, and a cold draw. Basically trying to make the opponent make the hardest shot that's possible in the scenario.
Will Lyburn with his last rock of this sixth end. Looking for a piece of the button. This one's hanging a bit out there, and it is not coming back in. They're waiting for it to curl. Now it's starting to move. Is the weight there? Is the weight there? Got to get the button. Just an inch or two away, but they think they have accomplished what they needed to.
So a couple of a very tight hit and roll into the button, or a straight draw to the button.
That or we have inside nose to steal one, inside nose to four.
Jason Gunlinson has now defeated John Schuster 6-2. They now have qualified on the B side. We'll be playing tomorrow evening alongside our A side qualifiers, Kevin Cooey, Brendan Botcher, and of course Brad Jacobs' teams won earlier today on the A side qualifying games.
Plenty of decisions to make here. Do you play the little hit and roll, or do you just draw one in? McEwen looking at the hit and roll as his option. Now the danger area, if he hits and sticks straight on, it will be a steal one for Lyburn. Possibly two if he rolls a hair out to the outside. So Mike McEwen with the final stone here of the sixth end of the 2018 Canad Inns Men's Classic. Needs to get a little roll on the inside.
Doesn't have a whole lot of room there either with the one that Will just threw.
Trying to salvage a single in this end.
Very close.
It is close.
And he got
Hit and a roll. They salvage that one. Brothers with the single in end number 6. We have 2 more to go. You're watching the 2018 Canad Inns Men's Classic. Here are some of our proud sponsors for 2018. Well, we are back here in Portage, and what a finish to that end for Reed Carruthers and Mike McEwen and their squad.
Got the inside roll.
Just by the skin of his teeth, they managed to squeeze that one in there and roll to the button. It is 4-2 after 6 ends of play. Will Lyburn now. He now has the hammer.
Team Carruthers calling for the center line guard. Just at the top of the, outside the house. Another final on this drive. Matt Dunstone has beat Daniel Wenzik 8-2. Matt is now qualified on the B side. Our 5th team into tomorrow night.
So Lyburn now throwing up his corner guard.
Oh my God, I was just kidding.
Yep, get them even. Get them even. Go, Johnny.
Throwing up the corner guard for Team Lyburn.
Carruthers now. I believe they're throwing up another center line guard. No, they're bringing this one into the house. And one finishes quite nicely.
Great finish. 3/4 covered. Front of the tee line.
Lyburn looking to follow suit, maybe freeze up to that yellow.
I know it.
Mark! Hey, wait on lane. Wait on lane. Right. Yep, straight. Copy. Gotta be here. You can top of the net. Come on, Art. Art, you gotta be here. Come on.
So much for the 5-rock free guard zone here. They went right after it right away.
And this could be a very interesting end.
That rock ended up fully buried. Recalling for another one, trying to get some sort of different angle on the rock.
And sweepers off of this one. It's going to freeze up to their other rock in the 4-foot. And Lyburn now.
That opens it up a little bit.
Yeah, looking to remove that stone.
Chance to remove both stones.
Back 4.
Really just going to play a back 4 weight and move the rocks around, move those behind the tee line, hopefully for a catcher maybe later in the end.
Cal Doring with his first stone. Looking at putting this rock in the rings as well, and well to the other ones.
Sorry, Kyle.
Tapped it right onto the pin. Calling for a little hit and roll to the inside.
As the hit,
Nudge it in.
a little rub, and now sitting 3, and they're happy with the results there.
If you hit a quarter,
It's about half open. If they wanted to take on the takeout.
yeah, smash it up, bud. Make square one behind that corner.
Liburn only wanting a quarter of the rock for a peel weight. Doring with his second stone.
Straight!
It's like a panda bear. Yeah.
Good. Really good. Yep.
One yellow spilled, a couple yellows moved. And the shooter also dead. So not a bad result for the Liburn team.
Opened it up, both yellows are now exposed, and their one of actually his top 8 is fully buried by the Crothers guard.
The only other shot is nose.
He's on with the Dancing with the Stars, so with the boys. You're kidding. He was with the, he was with, what's her name? Amanda.
Reed Crothers with his first rock of the end.
Yeah, it was.
Green, up. Hard. Hard, gotta hold it. Whoa.
Center line guard.
I don't mind trying it. Yep. Yeah, there you go. Just play hack weight. Sure.
So Liburn looking to come around those guards with hack weight.
Through a small port.
A tough shot. Looks like he's a little inside, perhaps.
Sweepers are on it right out of his hand.
And he's going to wick on the guard in the front. And the other guard gets pushed into the rings.
Maybe you do take this on now.
One lonely Liburn stone in there at the top of the 8th.
Yeah, I don't see much risk in doing this. So normal or... I don't see a different shot in you. Say which way? I think you need here.
So run back their yellow onto the blue.
Straight run back.
Possibility of sitting 4. Crothers' second stone this end.
Needs to come up a little bit.
And
Oh,
takes out one of his other rocks in the back of the house.
Have it back, split it. Just make it even if you just split it.
So Liburn trying to figure out what to do here. Does he split his blue in the front, kind of tuck it behind one of that yellow in the 12-foot? Shooter spills off to the side a little bit, but gives him an opportunity for his 2.
And he's really looking at all different options. He wants and needs to score his 2.
Maybe this spins up in here. I like that.
Interesting enough, play the one in the top 12, play it half a rock, have it bounce off of your own blue. Maybe you get lucky and it hits the yellow in the 4.
You roll in behind the cover.
This turn? Yeah.
This is the end where Liburn needs to try to get his 2.
Make it double. We got a free draw around the corner. Cool with it?
Daley Peters with his final stone here in the 7th end. Oh, they need it for line. And just a wick of that top one.
Almost looked like he overthrew it. I don't think that was the right speed that
they were expecting.
They were expecting. That one was a bullet going down. Opportunity lost there for the Liburn team. They were looking really good for their 2.
Opportunity gain now for the Carruthers team. Remove the blue. Sit 4. And force Liburn to his 1 in this 7th end. Mike McEwen with his first of 2 skip stones. Sweeper trying to hold this. You got a pretty good piece. Nice roll.
Nice roll. Takes away the double.
A very important shot here for Liburn. So trying to remove both those stones.
Almost sounds like he's conceding that he's going to have to draw for his 1.
Wants to keep the 4-foot open for himself.
Like I think somewhere between a quarter and a third. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I know we're going to make triple.
Will Liburn with his first of 2 skips rocks. Trying to remove some yellow stones from the house. Give himself an opportunity to draw to the 4-foot on his final stone. Needs about a quarter of the first one to perhaps get the back one. And he gets just the back one in this opportunity.
Yeah, I didn't really hit one rock before the other. Kind of hit it right in the crotch. And didn't get enough power or enough bang from rock to rock.
Well, that leaves the Carruthers foursome the opportunity to remove the stone. The question is, which way do you want to roll? Make it a little more difficult. Make him draw for his single. You play it right where it is and see if he'll draw or try to hit. Though I don't think hitting it on the head will do him any good. So hit a bit of a roll.
Slight roll to the outside. Still think that either turn is available for the draw for Willie.
Mike McEwen, his final stone of this seventh end. Bit of a roll. And they are sitting 4 yellow, leaving Lyburn the opportunity here to draw. Full 8 will get him a single.
Forces him to the out turn draw. Draw time hog to hog has been pretty close to 14-5.
As last rock of the 7th end, Will Lyburn needs the 8-foot in order to salvage a single point this 7th end.
Heavy, clean it, please. You're not heavy.
Should be fairly close.
Sweepers know they got this one. And it is a single for Will Lyburn. And we have a 1-point game coming home. We'll be back in just a few moments with the 8th and final end.
Eat.
Meet.
Stay.
Canad Inn's destination centers are your home for hospitality, with 10 locations in Manitoba and 1 in North Dakota, featuring the finest in accommodations, food and beverage, entertainment, banquet and conference facilities, and so much more. For the best service and best value, your only stop is Canad Inns. Call today at 1-888-33-CANAD or visit us right now at canadinns.com.
Well, we are back here in Portage la Prairie. We've completed 7. We are on to the 8th. The score after 7 ends of play, 4-3 in favor of the Carruthers foursome. They do have the hammer coming home, so it's do or die time for the Lyburn rink. And of course, at the 5 rock free guard zone, great opportunity here right away to try to make some magic happen. Just 1 point down. This is still anybody's game.
1 point down, 5 rock rule in guard zone, and that's pretty much why they've put the free guard zone in place, is to give that guy a chance to steal. 15 years ago, you would just run him out of rocks.
Games were a bit faster back then. It looks like we may be the last sheet completed tonight, as the other 2 games are just finishing up their 8th ends.
Team Lyburn called for the centerline guard. Left it high. Crothers will try and come in and put it on the button.
You feel it's around the 4th foot for this one, so I'm just going to drag it in. Make sure it's right there. And nicely covered to boot. Liburn's going to put up another guard.
You want to come this way, Sean?
This one he'll want to come in a little deeper. And
Line's good.
have the center line double guarded.
Go for it. Hook it.
Sturmey quite positive at the end of their match, so it looks like they pulled out the win over Calvert.
Yes. And with that, they qualify. So we have our 6 qualifiers so far. Team Crothers trying to come in, tap a few stones and just change the angles up on them a bit.
And they freeze it right up to that blue.
I think we gotta come here. Big turn, yeah. Yeah, come here. You need to come here. Yeah.
The good part about the end so far is that all the rocks are in front of the tee line. All can still be promoted in.
Yeah.
Rock's starting to move now. Oh, they've got a great one. Right to the tee line.
I think they went for option 2 there when they saw that it was still out a little bit and a little heavy, so they brought it right in and around. Right to the button.
Down to the final rock on sheet number 7 between Zhang and Hartung. Zhang leading that one 4-1. Hartung's final rock needs a very thick double. Needs to roll from one side of the ice to the other, take out both stones, and possibly score a 3.
Almost has to be perfect because their one stone is a little bit in the way, so they have to go underneath it.
Doesn't have much of a choice, needs to try, if anything, at this point in time. Whether you like it or not, you don't have any other options. You may be sitting a shot stone right now, but he definitely needs to get a good, I'd say, half, if not more.
I would say that, yep. And you're going from one side of the 12 foot to the other side of the 12 foot.
Pushing hard on that stone here on our sheet.
replacing the guard. Leaving the outturn side of the rocks open.
Well, Zhang with the win here tonight. Hartung just didn't get quite enough of that rock to move it on over. Worth the try, though.
Worth the try.
Well, we started with all 8 sheets going. There is 1 sheet remaining. Take a guess which one it is. We are on it. Carruthers and Lyburn. This one will probably go right down to the last rock.
Carruthers trying to clean things up in the front a little bit, eliminate some rocks.
Daly Peters in the hack now.
Team Lyburn calling for a freeze right on the one at the top of the 4. Leaving it short.
Still doesn't hurt them at all and have that guard up front.
No. Reed just looking at how the different angles that he wants to clean up the 2 guards in the front.
Trying for the double peel here. Remove anything up front.
Yeah, they're trying to keep it as clean as they possibly can. One up with hammer.
I was dead set. That was him.
One, two.
Great call.
Makes it a bit harder for the Lyburn foursome. Lyburn just putting up the guard.
So on the center guy, keep his rocks covered.
Carruthers, of course, with the hammer. And with a rock in the top of the forefoot, with no real protection of either stone, got a great opportunity if he keeps things going the way they are. Liburn trying for the center line guard here. They got to push this one.
What's his actual T-A-R-R. Is that the name?
Fairly lengthy guard, so now the discussion is whether to remove the guard or just come on in and
remove the blue stone.
remove the blue stone now.
Yeah. In fact, the blue guard really doesn't do much for the blue stone in the forefoot, so why not? Of course, it's easier for us to say this and not do it. So they will peel the guard. Five rocks to go in this game. Quite the crowd here at Tavern United watching this final sheet. 4-3 the score. We are back tomorrow for more curling action starting at 12 noon. Make sure you tune in. 3 draws tomorrow.
We get to go to church in the morning.
And it's a nice peel.
Now the decision, I think they're going with either the guard or come on in and try a freeze. Or one a little closer in.
Looks like they are looking at the freeze. Will Liburn with his first of 2 skips rocks. Trying to freeze in the forefoot. Seems like the weight may be there. Maybe a bit too much.
It's going to tap something.
It's the zone blue. Still sitting first and second shot rock, but the chance for the double is there. And we all know how much Mike McEwen likes to throw hits, so all he needs is about a good half of this stone and should spill both.
Drive it over the top of the back one.
And then be sitting 1.
Even if he hits as much as he can see of it, it will still drive it out.
Mike McEwen with his first of 2 skip stones here in the 8th end. They look good for line. 1, 2. Liburn's
Needs to drop
choice
full.
is just, straight to the button.
He's dropped full 4. Probably not looking to get it buried right in behind. Give him some sort of option, either try and take it out, or if he sucks it in right in behind, then it's just a simple tap back for the win. Or so he probably wants, I would think, maybe try and get it half buried or a quarter buried. Show him a little bit where he might think of a hit.
Will Liburn with his last rock in this 8th end needs to find full 4-foot in order to stay alive. And this one is hanging out there, and it looks like it's a wee bit heavy. And this is that game. Team Carruthers with the victory here in the 8th end. Defeat Will Liburn and his squad. Carruthers will continue to move on. Liburn's night is over. Thank you so much for joining us. For Trent Ward and myself, Ken Playtink, we will be back here tomorrow at noon for more action from the 2018 Canad Inns Men's Classic.